Okay, welcome everyone to session number 273 of Kevin Reed's Course in Miracles. Thank you for helping me study. All right, today we are in the Manual for Teachers and we will be focusing on question number 24. Question number 24 is Reincarnation so? Question 24 and question number 25 are psychic powers desirable. He's going to be saying basically the same things about both of these things, but today we'll just concentrate on the reincarnation. And within the writings of the Course in Miracles, those that were taken down through Helen Schuckman and Bill Thetford, there are many times in the Course when it seems to be referencing past lives or reincarnation, okay? But later on he's going to say, but don't let that influence you, okay? Like if you believe in reincarnation, all of a sudden you say, oh wow, Course in Miracles believes in reincarnation. I think I'll study this. He says it's only real within the illusion, okay? And like I say, personally, I think all time is happening at once, all right? So let's just see what Jesus says about it before I get too silly. Paragraph 1. In the ultimate sense, reincarnation is impossible. There is no past or future. And the idea of birth into a body has no meaning, either once or many times. Reincarnation cannot then be true in any real sense. Our only question should be, is the concept helpful? And that depends, of course, on what it is used for. If it is used to strengthen the recognition of the eternal nature of life, it is helpful indeed. Is any other question about it really useful in lighting up the way? Like many other beliefs, it can be bitterly misused. At least, such misuse offers preoccupation and perhaps pride in the past. At worst, it induces inertia in the present. In between, many kinds of folly are possible. So we're either really proud. I used to be the Pharaoh, right? I used to be, a legionnaire with Caesar's army, whatever. You take pride in being Cleopatra, or as Ken once said, when they were out teaching the Course in the beginning, throughout his teaching, he said, we met at least 4 people that were St. Paul. So he says that's you could take pride in the past, all right? Like, I'm a little bit above you, I was a saint, okay? Or you could be saying, oh, I'm worse than anybody. I was Al Capone, I was a famous gangster, whatever. I was Jesse James, all right? These are all American bad guys. Pick a bad guy in your own country, your own culture, and I was that. So you get preoccupied with that, That makes me really cool, I was special. I was a pharaoh, And so it either induces pride in the past or inertia, which means I can't do anything. My past lives just make it too difficult for me. I'm just going to wait until this life is over, and then I'll I'll get better. I'll do better. I'll be a better person in all this. All right? So, at least such misuse offers preoccupation and perhaps pride in the past. At worst, it induces inertia in the present. All right? In between, all right, the pride and the inertia, there's many other kinds of folly. All right? And there was one story that the Dalai Lama told about an old monk who really was, I guess he was envious, or he just couldn't wait. He wanted to be like the young monks who were learning all these, acrobatic moves and, all kinds of things. And he went and killed himself. And I believe the Dalai Lama said that was really one of the few times he felt regret, right? Because the man didn't grasp the concept of reincarnation, right? So that's part of the follies in between, the pride in the past and the inertia. I can't do anything. My karma was too bad. All right. So there's many follies in between. All right. So, like many other beliefs, it can be bitterly misused, as he says. Okay. Paragraph 2. Reincarnation would not, under any circumstances, be the problem to be dealt with now. If it were responsible for some of the difficulties the individual faces now, his task would still be only to escape from them now. If he's laying the groundwork for a future life, he can still work out his salvation only now. To some, there may be comfort in the concept, and if it heartens them, its value is self-evident. Right? It is certain, however, that the way to salvation can be found by those who believe in reincarnation and those who do not. Okay? The idea cannot therefore be regarded as essential to the curriculum. There was always some risk in seeing the present in terms of the past. There is always some good in any thought which strengthens the idea that life and the body are not the same. Okay? So, like he says, it depends on how you use the concept. All right? He says, no matter what. He said reincarnation would not, under any circumstances, be the problem to be dealt with now. So everything is happening now. Right? If there's a problem, it can be dealt with in the present moment. Right? And even if you think you're going to be really, in my next life, I'm going to be really enlightened. He says you can only prepare for that right now. Okay. And yet he's not goofing on anybody that believes in reincarnation or doesn't. He said it only has meaning within the illusion. Like everything else. I mean, like acupuncture has meaning within the illusion. Okay? Positive and negative things have meaning within the illusion. And I give them all the meaning that they have. Right? So his task would still be only to escape from them now. If I had past problems. All right? To some, there may be comfort in the concept. And if it heartens them, its value is self-evident, all right? So if you get some comfort from it, okay, that's good. Its value is self-evident, okay? So, I left myself somewhere in the dark here. It is certain, however, that the way to salvation can be found by those who believe in reincarnation and those who do not. All right? Either way, you can find your way to be free of the ego thought system. The idea cannot, therefore, be regarded as essential to the curriculum. So reincarnation is not an essential idea to the curriculum of forgiveness and atonement. All right? Doesn't matter about past lives or future lives or what's happening now. I need to see correctly now. Right? I need to see the world differently, the forgiveness, and accept the innocence, accept the atonement. That's the curriculum. And I could do that at any moment, right now. Okay? There's always some risk in seeing the present in terms of the past. Right? There's always some good in any thought that strengthens the idea that life and the body are not the same. So he says, it might, if it helps you to break apart that life and the body are not the same, that something goes on after the body is gone. All right? Something continues. He says that might be helpful. There's always some good in the thought which strengthens the idea that life and the body are not the same. All right? Paragraph 3. For our purposes, it would not be helpful to take a definite stand on reincarnation. A teacher of God should be as helpful to those who believe in it as to those who do not. If a definite stand were required of him, it would merely limit his usefulness, as well as his own decision-making. Our course is not concerned with any concept that is not acceptable to anyone, regardless of his formal beliefs. Right? So the course is not concerned with the concept. His ego will be enough for him to cope with. And it is not the part of wisdom, to add sectarian controversies to his burdens. Nor would there be an advantage in his premature acceptance of the course merely because it advocates a long-held belief of his own. All right? He said, look, your ego is enough to cope with. All right? The effect of believing in separation from the oneness. All right? He says, that's plenty to cope with. Don't add on to it with these confounding concepts. Sectarian controversies, he calls them. Right? Because there's some people that believe in it truly, some people that don't. Right? He says, don't get caught up. He says, your ego is enough to deal with. All right? So he says, our course is not concerned with any concept that is not acceptable to anyone, regardless of his formal beliefs. Right? He says, and there's no advantage in premature acceptance of the course because it advocates a long-held belief of his own. Just because you think the course is advocating reincarnation, he says, you might just prematurely accept it. And then, somewhere down the line, you go, I don't get this, I don't like it. All right. Paragraph 4. It cannot be too strongly emphasized that this course aims at a complete reversal of thought. When this is finally accomplished, issues such as the validity of reincarnation become meaningless. Until then, they are likely to be merely controversial. The teacher of God is, therefore, wise to step away from all such questions, for he has much to teach and learn apart from them. He should both learn and teach that theoretical issues but waste time, draining it away from its appointed purpose. If there are aspects to any concept or belief that will be helpful, he will be told about it. He will also be told how to use it. What more need he know? Okay. There's another point in the course, I believe it's in the beginning, in the introduction. It's somewhere, okay? It says, don't let theology delay you, all right? Same thing with these theoretical issues. Don't let these theoretical issues delay you. What we are striving for is an experience. He says, a universal theology is impossible. Not everybody can believe the same thing, and not everybody will believe the same thing. But a universal experience is not only possible, it's necessary. Okay? And the experience that we're striving for, that everybody really wants deep down inside, is that awareness of the oneness, the awareness of the relationship with the original creator, and everything that comes with that. Right? Joy and security and all those things. All right? So don't let theoretical issues delay you. You know, people love to argue about stuff, you know. When I was a silly or sillier young man, I had graduated from the seminary and decided that was not my path. But I loved to argue with priests, and it was such a waste of time. In retrospect, it's a waste of time. But back in the day, it was great sport. But don't let theology delay you, right? A universal theology is impossible, right? That one true church is impossible, right? But that one true experience is not only possible, it's necessary. Okay. All right. So, the teacher of God is therefore wise to step away from all such questions. All right? Because you have much to teach and learn apart from that. All right? You know, it doesn't matter, reincarnation, doesn't matter. It's a cool concept if you want to, and it can help you to realize that, as so he's going to say somewhere along the line here, that birth is not the beginning and death is not the end. Okay? So, and then he reminds us in paragraph 4, sentence 6, if there are aspects to any concept or belief that will be helpful, he will be told about it, or she, okay? He will also be told how to use it. What more need he know? It's always put yourself into the right mind. Align yourself with your eternal guide, right? Jesus, Holy Spirit. Those are these symbols we use in the Course. Right? Align yourself with that symbol of unconditional love and acceptance. Right? And you will be guided, you'll say. What more need he know? Paragraph 5. Does this mean that the teacher of God should not believe in reincarnation himself or discuss it with others who do? The answer is certainly not. If he does believe in reincarnation, it would be a mistake for him to renounce the belief unless his internal teacher so advised. And this is most unlikely. He might be advised that he is misusing the belief in some way that is detrimental to his pupil's advance or his own. Reinterpretation would then be recommended because it is necessary. All that must be recognized, however, is that birth is not the beginning and death is not the end. Yet even this much is not required of the beginner. He need merely accept the idea that what he knows is not necessarily all there is to learn. His journey has begun. Right? He says the beginner who has just realized, I want to see I want to see the world differently. I'm tired of the chaos and the guilt and the anger and the me or you approach to life. There must be a better way. The journey has begun. So you don't have to know anything about reincarnation. You know what I mean? He says you don't even have to know that birth is not the beginning and death is not the end. He says the beginner doesn't have to know that. All the beginner has to know is that he doesn't know everything there is to know. Okay? His journey has begun. So, and when he talks about, even if you believe in it, he says you might be misusing the belief. And once again, he reiterates, misusing the belief is to reinforce the idea of separation. I'm better than you. We're separate. We're different. You were just a lowlife, a peon. I was a Roman general. Which I don't think I was anyway. It's too bloody a life, I think. But anyway, paragraph 6. The emphasis of this course always remains the same. Right? It is at this moment that complete salvation is offered you. And it is at this moment that you can accept it. This is still your one responsibility. Atonement might be equated with total escape from the past and total lack of interest in the future. Heaven is here. There is nowhere else. Heaven is now. There is no other time. No teaching that does not lead to this is of concern to God's teachers. All beliefs will point to this if properly interpreted. In this sense, it can be said that their truth lies in their usefulness. All beliefs that lead to progress should be honored. This is the sole criterion this course requires. No more than this is necessary. So the purpose, right? All beliefs that lead to progress should be honored. What is it for? Is it to reinforce the idea of separation and separate interests? Or is it to to foster the idea that there are no separate interests. We're all the same, right? The oneness. We're heading toward the oneness, right? So all beliefs, what is it for? Anything in your life, what is it for? You know, people have all different beliefs. Beliefs about politics, beliefs about relationships, beliefs about education, and everything, you know. As my father used to say, everybody's entitled to their own wrong opinion. But everybody's got their beliefs and their ideas, their theories. He says but all beliefs that lead to progress should be honored. That means all beliefs that aid us in moving on toward the awareness of oneness. They're very helpful. Okay, so what is it for? What is it for? That's a very powerful question in one of the sections in the text. All right. So, it says the emphasis of this course is always the same. It is at this moment that complete salvation is offered you. In this moment. And it is this moment that you can accept it. This is still your one responsibility. Atonement might be equated with total escape from the past and total lack of interest in the future. Heaven is here. There is nowhere else. Heaven is now. There is no other time. No teaching that does not lead to this is of concern to God's teachers. All beliefs will point to this if properly interpreted. Right? All beliefs would bring them to the right mind, so to speak, and we ask, help me to see it correctly. In this sense, it can be said that their truth lies in their usefulness. What is it for? Separation or oneness. Okay. I like the way he puts it is atonement, when I realize that I'm not separate from God, and I've never separated, and I'm totally innocent, and so is everything that comes in my purview, all right? It's everything that is in my mind, right? He says that you could equate that with the total escape from the past, so you don't care about the past, right? And you have no interest in the future because you realize that there is none, no past, no future. Everything is that glorious present moment. That eternal present moment, right? So he says, look, believe it or don't believe it, all right? Just don't misuse it, all right? And it's not necessary to believe it because everything is happening right now, all right? There's one problem, the belief in separation, and it looks like a billion problems. And there's only one solution. That is the atonement. You never left. All right? You're as shiny as the day you were made. All righty then. I thank you, and I will see you next time for psychic abilities. Or did you know that?